in Secret Invasion, Nick Fury did say after you know, the battle in Endgame that he set out a team to recover any samples or whatever of the Avengers' DNAs and whatnot, or like just all the superpowered people that were in
Mm-hmm.
that fight. Um, so I mean, because Nick Fury was utilizing a lot of the scrolls. They were part of his like teams, his shield teams and whatnot, and what.
Mm-hmm.
So he could have sent out some, and then like some rogue agents that he didn't know about. And then one of what I think is that one of them took over Rhodey in those moments.
The rogue agent, the one that ended up being on
Yeah, not Civil War because then that ruins a lot of things in between that.
yeah.
Um,
The fact that
but
that's still a thing where they're saying Rhodey has been one since Civil War, it still kind of messes up Civil War in a way.
yeah,
But like you were saying,
yeah. So I think whatever team it was probably Skrulls. Obviously, they'd be in human form, but
mm,
um, I think when they went to go recover samples and whatnot, I think one of them that was working with Gravik,
mm,
uh, maybe, you know, took over Rhodey or kidnapped Rhodey, took Rhodey,
mm,
um, and then kind of like just filled it in his spot or whatever.
mm.
Um,
Because they had been on Earth for a while,
yeah,
because what they were harvesting, I guess you could say, I think that's the right word, like harvesting the scrolls since like before Fury lost his eye.
right.
So that community's been there for a while. So it also kind of raises the question of like, since they were there for a while and those other rogue agents that worked with Gravik, eventually have taken over more than just Rhodey, you know?
Yeah,
Because
right.
at the end of the day, they're still defending a home, right? If they're trying to defend a home, then they're going to side with the Avengers and be like, all right, if let's say, for example, I am Steve Rogers, right? I'm a scroll that is Steve Rogers. I got to do what I got to do in order to, protect Earth because it's the only home that people have, right? So, I, I don't know. It just seems a little far fetched when you add scrolls into it because it also kind of confuses the timeline as well. Because it like Secret Invasions didn't really explain too much of like how much the scrolls have affected, being a part of human activities, happening on Earth. That's why I
Right.
wish they didn't do Secret Wars like a show. If they were gonna do a show, it needs to be a long show, and also on top of that, if they don't want to go through a show, it needs to be a well thought out movie.
Right. I feel like Secret Invasion was either too soon or too late of a story because they play like a huge role in the comics, dude. Like it's
Yeah.
like they take over, the Avengers, they manipulate so many people, so many heroes, and it's like the way they did Secret Invasion was very it was just dry. It was boring.
Yeah.
It
I
wasn't
mean,
as exciting. Like they try to make it like this like serious thriller and like it wasn't really all that much. It was just and then the ending it was like
very stupid.
very rushed as well.
Yeah, because Gaia has, super scroll powers, basically.
Yeah,
But
but
on,
both of them had super scroll powers and then the super scroll just dies
yeah. But
in
I
one
thought
episode. So
the super scroll is supposed to be damn near an Avengers level threat, right?
right.
But Nick Fury resolves the problem and he's just a human. Doesn't that kind of like downplay how powerful these scrolls are or how serious the secret invasion situation is supposed to be? Because it's like, if you really think about it, damn near almost everything just happened in the one area that Graphic was controlling, right?
Mhm.
We didn't hear
Yeah.
much shit going on in Earth. I don't even think one time they went to New York,
No.
right? I don't even think one time they went outside of the area that they're supposed to. Oh, that the Gravik was harvesting his, people. So it's like that's another big story that they kind of messed up on. Civil War is actually supposed to drag on a little bit longer, but they crammed it all into one movie. Granted, it's an amazing movie still. I still watch it from time to time. But it's like for those certain situations that happen in the comics, it's like if you really want to touch that story, there has to be a plan of attack to touch that story, because they did the same thing with Age of Ultron. Age of Ultron wasn't really supposed to be one movie, and he's just done. Did they do a good job on it? Yeah, they still did a very good job on giving us the Age of Ultron movie, right? But at the end of the day, if we really break down what was the point of the Age of Ultron movie? Seriously. Like, how did it transition from, all right, this still has to do with the Infinity Stones? Besides, the Mind Stone obviously being, what keeps Vision alive. That could have been explained in a whole nother movie besides adding a big character, a big antagonist like Ultron.
Yeah, but they kind of needed Ultron for Vision. So, like, you couldn't make Vision without having Ultron. But the thing is, too, in the comics, Ultron is actually created by Hank Pym and not Tony Stark. But it still works out the same way because, Tony Stark's just, he's a genius. So it's not really, like, something that's, like, out of character. So,
which that's what it goes back to what I was saying earlier. It's like, it's still done correctly, right?
Right.
Like, even though Age of Ultron was cut, like, the situation was cut down to just one movie, it still served somewhat of a purpose, which was, having Vision, all right, how the Mind Stone came to be, and how Vision plays a part in the Infinity Saga, right? What I'm saying is that for Secret Invasions and for Civil War, right? How can that be cut so short when, for people that know Marvel, for people that have read up on, these events that happen in the Marvel universe, why is everything being so condensed in certain situations? Like the Civil War situation dragged on for how long? Probably years, right?
Yeah. And I think Secret Invasion should have been one of those things where it was like a 3-part series or something like that.
Or 3 seasons.
Something. I mean, I feel like it was just a wasted rush story just to get the name of the storyline, out there. It's like, oh, we got this big storyline that everybody knows about, and we're gonna make an adaptation of it. And it's like, it was just not.
Right. And well, also, like, and this is kind of going outside of, talking about comic book lore. This goes down to kind of Disney and Marvel's business move right here. So, how many Marvel shows have 2 seasons?
None. Just Loki.
Just Loki, right?
And What If.
But What If is kind of its own separate thing from all the shows. So Loki is the only one who gets 2 seasons because it has to do with progressing that story, right? Which is progressing the multiverse saga, which top tier. So this is what's confusing me as well. How many Secret Invasion's got 6 episodes? Daredevil gets 22 or 18. How many does he get? He gets over 15 episodes.
Yeah.
Why does a show like Daredevil, right? Daredevil's an amazing show. This is not me bashing on Daredevil. This is not me saying that like Daredevil's a bad show, right? And that it doesn't deserve to have its to continue his story. Like, this is not me saying that. This is me saying for something like Secret Invasions, right? Are they saying that Secret Invasions is less important than Daredevil, right? Which is why Daredevil is getting 18 episodes, and something as big as Secret Invasions is supposed to be is getting 6 episodes.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what their game plan ever is. It's fucking stupid.
Like, if you're gonna make a show like Secret Invasions, right? If you're going to attempt something like that, then you have to sacrifice something like Daredevil. Giving Daredevil 18 episodes, it's like he must have to do some crazy shit during